Hey, Virgo, Mel, intuitive coach here, excited to bring in your love and family reading for September 2025. All right, Virgo, let's open up your energy field and take a look at what September has in store for you. Bottom of the deck, we have Poker Face. This is about taking a chance. This is about you opening yourself up to risk and options here. It reminds me of not only the aces, because we have two aces here, but this is the Fool energy where you may be leaping forward into a new beginning, or you could be learning a lot about yourself at this time. Perhaps you're learning about others. Now, you've been doing a lot of work on you, I see. You have the old school card here, which talks about outdated thinking and conditioning. So there may have been events, Virgo, that have been replaying over and over in your head. And I see that that has caused you to feel a lot of distress. Okay, it feels like there is a lot of distress here. Bottom of the deck, Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, it's caused you to redirect your focus. It's caused you to maybe hesitate here in which direction you want to go from here on out when it comes to a relationship in your life or attracting someone new. So you have old school, and you can see that there's a few cassettes on this illustration. And if you remember, tape players back in the day when the tape would get all tangled, you would stick your finger in the hole and wind it up so you could re-listen to your favorite song, your favorite cassette. But sometimes that tape would get so wound up that you just have to throw it away. And that's the message that I'm getting here for you is no matter how much you go over this event or what had happened or what had went wrong, I feel like what it does is it entangles you and your emotions and your mental health. It really causes things to feel more entangled than if you were to just throw it out, throw it away. No matter how much you try to figure something out, I just feel like it's not beneficial here in some way. So the events that are replaying over in your head, Spirit wants you to focus on telling yourself a new story and maybe forgiving the old one, forgiving yourself or forgiving a situation here because you've learned very valuable lessons, and some of you may be picking something apart, but I feel like it is being done in a judgmental type of way. And you may not realize that you could be judging or criticizing your own self or perhaps someone else here. So whatever outdated thinking or limitations that you have regarding love, regarding a partnership here, Spirit wants you to shift the trajectory and tell a new story. Now, that's why the golden mirror is being held up here, Virgo, because when something is being reflected back to us, something that has happened in our past, this could be a conversation, it could be some sort of dramatic event. Now, on this card, it speaks of narcissism, love bombing, a very self-absorbed energy, or something that felt very one-sided. And I see here that this is being held up for you to show yourself unconditional love, show yourself kindness and forgiveness for what you did not know, because something is now being reflected to you and you have the ability to become aware and change the story instead of replaying it over and over in your head. So the golden mirror is actually a blessing when it does come out, because some of you may be seeing a side that you weren't able to see in someone or within yourself. But because you have the aces here, I feel like you are taking a chance on a new beginning. And I'm really digging into this self-care piece, self-love, self-care. A lot of you have been working on your mental, physical, emotional health and getting closer with that spiritual side of yourself, maybe even participating in more spiritual routines, more mindfulness, more meditation, getting out in nature, connecting to your body, because our bodies are our vehicles, are indicators of what's going on. Our body is going to speak the truth. So paying attention where you may feel heavy or perhaps where you feel pain in the body can alert you to perhaps something that needs attention. Now, you do have the runner here. You may have been dealing with someone, or perhaps there was a part of your own self, Virgo, that may have been running away from the obstacle or the challenge, or something that may have even been buried in your subconscious. But that's why the golden mirror is being held up here, because when the subconscious is activating a limiting belief, we tend to project that out into our reality. And sometimes we don't know why we're going through the things that we're going through, or why we're attracting the type of relationships that we are attracting, or repeating the same old story over and over again. But that's the mirror here being held up, because you are being asked to get close with yourself. This is deepening the intimacy with your own self here. And some of you may even be connecting with a new partner here, and it could bring up some old triggers. And I feel like you have a choice within these triggers to default back into old defense mechanisms, old beliefs, old conditioning, or you have the choice here to perhaps deepen this intimacy between you and yourself, or you and another, instead of running away, instead of avoiding, numbing, or even escaping. Now, this can be an intense energy when things start to get very intense between perhaps you and another. And this can be intense in a good way, right? It could be a strong emotion of happiness, of joy, of pleasure, of love, or it can be a strong, intense emotion of anger, of fear, right? It can be some of those more complex emotions. So you are taking a look at something for what it is, and I feel like you're able to shift gears here and open the gift, open this new beginning with that ace energy. So let's dive into the heart of the reading here, where you currently stand emotionally in matters of love, connection, and belonging. You have the Six of Cups here. Now, the Six of Cups can be the energy of second chances. Some of you may be reconnecting with someone that you've either been with for quite some time, maybe for years. For others of you, this is your past coming up. Whether that past person is still in your life or not, there are some heavy emotions that are showing up at this time from the past. And it could be that there are times where you may romanticize a situation, or unhealthy past attachments are coming up to the surface, maybe even codependencies or difficulty within one's childhood. Perhaps you've been doing a lot of inner child work, reparenting your own self in some way. Now, there could even be some struggles with a child or children in your own life. Whatever age they may be, there may be some stressors or some factors that may be showing up. Some of you may even have a child who is feeling at times like they want to escape, like they want to run away. And I see that you're trying to be supportive, but some of you feel like this is a heavy burden that you carry as well. So it certainly could be a family member here, a child, but I see that you're also honoring yourself. You're protecting your peace, and you are trying to nurture and take care of the parts of you that may have felt a little bit neglected, because you have such a big heart, Virgo. You do help others in a big way, and sometimes people may take advantage of you. They may take advantage of your time, or whatever it is that you are offering. It can even be that beautiful heart of yours. But the Six of Cups can also be yearning for the good old days. You may be thinking about a relationship that you were in many moons ago, and again, romanticizing things or thinking about when life was simpler. And you are being guided here to catch yourself when you fall back into the trap of negativity instead of, longing for the good old days. You can linger there for a bit. You can smile. You can remember good times. There's nothing wrong with memories and taking a trip down memory lane. Some of you may even be reading old poems or old journals. Some of you may come across old pictures of your childhood or you and another individual that you were close with or connected to at one point in your life, or how you looked. Some of you, this has to do with how you had looked in the body or how you had felt at a younger age. But Spirit is saying here, with the old school coming through, if you are staying too long down memory lane and those challenges are causing you to become depressed or cause you to feel stuck, lonely, isolated, again, more of those complex energies, that's where things get a little bit hairy. So the challenge here in the month of September is the Empress. All right. So this is you taking care of you. It's the current influence that's either supporting you or challenging you. And I feel like this case, it is both. This could be an emotion. And if this is an emotion here, the Empress is Libran, Taurian energy. And it is about love. It is about nurturing yourself. So the emotion here would be about you finding joy and contentment in nurturing your own inner garden. And when it comes to expectations, sometimes the mother, especially as a challenge, she can have high expectations for her children, for herself. And sometimes she can be very controlling, very smothering. So you want to be mindful of where this challenge is showing up in your life. Now, of course, the mother can also take care of everybody else that she neglects her own self. So there may be relational tension even between you and your own mother, or when it comes to mothering yourself in some way. So that is the challenge for you. A lot of you are being guided to put some of that beautiful energy that you give so freely to others into yourself. Male or female, it does not matter. This is about you loving and nurturing your own self. So again, tending to the inner garden is going to help your outer world flourish. Now let's take a look at the subconscious influence here. This is your hidden feelings, Virgo, your ancestral imprints, or even beliefs that may be quietly shaping how you give and receive love. Now, the Eight of Cups is the energy of personal growth. It is cutting ties, moving on, because you are craving and you want something deeper, something more meaningful, more spiritual, and this is a new path. So this tells me that subconsciously, you know when it's time to stay and when it's time to leave. You know when you're feeling restless, when you're not feeling very connected to someone or even your own self. And subconsciously, this is trying to make its way into your life because you may have an emotional pull or an emotional attachment to a person or a belief or a situation that is no longer serving you. The Eight of Cups here is needing to leave someone or something behind in order to grow. So there is a part of you that's craving this new path or this new journey, hence the double aces here showing up at the bottom of the deck. And so when our subconscious is alerting us, it's going to show up eventually in our world. And it looks like it's showing up in your world in a very profound way. So where have you come from here? In the recent past, you have the Three of Pentacles here, but I'm getting a sideways energy here with the Three of Pence. So this can be a recent event or a dynamic that has influenced how you engage in family or even emotional relationships here. And the Three of Pentacles in reverse is someone being a poor team sport or a poor team player, not a part of the family, segregating themselves. Maybe this is a teenager that locks themselves in their rooms all the time, or this could be a family member that you have not spoken with for quite some time. Perhaps they've kept their distance or you have. This could even be a third party energy that has influenced the family in some way. Now, third party energy can be working. It can be someone's career, could be a third party energy that is taking precedence before a relationship. It could even be that, there are other energies involved that may be causing a little bit of a hiccup when it comes to emotional satisfaction and teamwork, because this is the energy of teamwork making the dream work. And because I'm getting a sideways energy here, it just feels like someone is not pulling their weight. It's very one-sided, and I feel like that's what you are wanting to shift, or that's what you're wanting to address or heal or come out of in some way. Now, what's showing up in your conscious awareness? So we see in the subconscious, you have the Eight of Cups, knowing when to stay, when to leave, when to cut some emotional ties. You have the Tower. So this is what you want. This is what you know. Your current desires or realizations around connections are saying that you want a do-over here in some way. You want a second chance here. Something needs to crumble because the cracks in the foundation have become so large that you're starting to fall through every step. And I see here that the Tower is something that could be self-induced. It could be that it's fated. It could be that someone else has even initiated a Tower. But I feel like this is part of where you are meant to go. Things need to get shaken up. Things need to get stirred up here in some way, because this is a sudden change. This is a sudden change that's bringing in a new beginning, because the old structures are no longer working. Those old stories that you've told yourself are all tangled up, and it's not based on a healthy, functional dynamic here in some way. And that's why the Tower comes in, to kind of rip everything down, to kind of rip off the band-aid here of a situation and get to the core, get to the deeper healing, so you can embrace here a new beginning when it comes to matters of the heart. Try not to resist this change. Even if this is change that you initiate, sometimes we doubt, we second guess. We say, is this where I'm meant to be? Am I doing the right thing? And Spirit is saying this change is inevitable. This is where you are meant to begin in order to get to where you want to go. So what do we see here in the near future? What's the emerging energy? We have the Ten of Pentacles here. I'm getting a tad bit of sideways energy with the Ten of Pence, but it is showing up nonetheless, which can be about healing from ancestral patterns, ancestral wounding. This can be the marriage card. It can be family, legacy, inheritance, all of those things. So you may be taking a look at outdated family structures that have been playing out in your bloodline for many, many moons, possibly before you were even born, Virgo. So you may be doing some DNA upgrades. You may be looking at your family tree, family history here. You may be finding out, or perhaps you already know, that someone has a history of maybe mental health, depression, anxiety, some sort of struggle with that golden mirror. And I'm also getting someone could have been very very absorbed trying to heal themselves, and that may have been part of that third party energy. Someone may have not had a lot of time, not even time, but a lot of motivation, a lot of energy, a lot of life force to put into a relationship because they may have been struggling with their own health. That's what I pick up on here. And you may have been witnessing this, or perhaps you tried to help in any way that you could. But as I always say, Virgo, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So in the near future, though, I feel like there is a conversation that you have with someone in your family or a spouse, or even with a new person, with the aces showing up around maybe children, or around how someone grew up, because this can be longevity. It can be, I'm getting sibling rivalry, or there may have even been an energy here of feeling disconnected from your family or feeling discontent in some way. But there could certainly be a conversation that you have with someone, or it could even be with your higher self, because there's a shift happening here. There's a realization. And I feel like this is leading you towards this new relationship chapter of your life. And you could be attracting someone who you do connect with on a deep soul level, and this could be someone that you marry, you decide to take it all the way with. This could be your forever partner. For those of you that are struggling with a family dynamic at this time, or between you and a spouse, it feels like you are addressing whatever that white elephant is in the room, whatever one-sided energy that Three of Pentacles is. And that's where the Tower comes in and says, okay, we need to address this now before someone hurts themselves, or before, we lose ourselves or our integrity. So whatever this is here for you, I feel like no more running, right? No more running. It's time to really get raw, real, and vulnerable with yourself or with a situation. Let's look at that beautiful heart of yours, how you are showing up in love and connection right now. This is also your emotional availability and your openness and even your defenses. And you have the moon here in reverse. So the moon energy is Pisces, which is highly and emotionally charged energy. So some of you may be feeling quite emotional, or even uncertain of how you even feel altogether. You may be saying, Mel, I don't even know how I feel about this situation. I've had a plethora of different feelings arise, and I'm not sure what's happening right now, but I am trying to trust the journey. I'm trying to trust that the truths, or whatever has been hidden, because this is also a highly spiritual energy of spirit working behind the scenes here, helping you uncover some of your subconscious truths. So again, what is your subconscious truth? The Eight of Cups. Cutting ties here, moving on, walking away. There's personal growth, there's discovery, there's independence. This is my Eat, Pray, Love card, the Eight of Cups. For those of you that have read the book or watch the movie with Julia Roberts, the Eight of Cups to me is about feeling dissatisfied. Even though there's been an emotional bond or a connection, everything may look great on the outside, but looking in, or I should say looking out, Julia Roberts, she's not content, she's not happy. And other people may think she's crazy. Like, you got everything, why would you leave? Because she knows, only she knows her heart. Nobody else can make that choice or that decision for her to change her life. And that's ultimately what she did, is she had induced that tower in her own life. And not everybody can go to Bali and find themselves, but you certainly can start a new chapter. And that's what many of you are doing. You are opening up this new portal, and you're trying to trust here in your own intuitive awareness and not let the monsters, right? Which the monsters are the shadows, because on this card, there's a huge, what looks to be a spider crab monster. I'm not sure what that is, but you have the moon here that is illuminating. There could be full moon energy showing up. The full moon in September, I'm not sure exactly what date that is, but that could hold a lot of significance for you. Some of you are doing a lot of letting go, a lot of shedding, a lot of releasing, a lot of forgiveness around that full moon, because there may have been secrets that have come to the surface, or, shadows, subconscious energies. And I feel like your intuition here is loud. And even though there may be a bit of confusion here, I do see that you're going to find clarity. This dust is going to settle here for you from the rubble of the tower, and you will come out as this new version of yourself, the phoenix rising. So let's take a look at the environmental influences, the external energies, those around you. This is how your family, your soulmates, your partners, or even the collective energies are currently influencing you, Virgo. This also shows external expectations or even behaviors that you may be responding to. We have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse here. And when the Nine of Pentacles shows up in reverse, this can be an energy of my way or the highway. Some of you may be influenced by people who are highly independent or highly codependent. Okay, so you may be receiving guidance and advice from people who their life isn't exactly the role model in itself that you may want to take advice from. And for others of you, because this Nine of Pentacles is in reverse, I feel like this is someone who is very, very much focused on the material world. And perhaps that's part of the collective energy that is showing up here at this time that could be influencing you. Is you may be needing to find your way again, find your place in the world, stand on your own 2 feet here. Some of you are focusing on your finances, your stability, your career path after maybe a difficult time here for you in matters of the heart. You may even be dealing with someone who is struggling financially to get on their own feet. And I see that you're very knowledgeable. You're very educated here. Many of you have learned valuable soul lessons. She's holding the book, and there's a beautiful portal, the window behind her. It's made of stone, and she has this awareness that she's about to enter into a new chapter of her life. And I feel like you may be saying goodbye to people that you've outgrown, or maybe they're moving as well. Someone could be moving or relocating. Someone could be shifting gears when it comes to career or family. I feel like there are people around you that may be focusing more on their own lives, and you may be guided to go in your own direction as well and connect to new energies here. That's what I'm seeing, because sometimes this can be the singles card, the singles energy. Now, some of you may meet someone. Now, if you are looking for love, everything, everything could change on a dime here for you, because you have that Three of Pentacles in the recent past. Perhaps there's someone in your soul circle, your soul tribe, or your friend group that you haven't spent a lot of time with, but you may get to know them a little bit more. This person could be very focused on their career at this time. This person could be very single, but I also see here that you're not rushing into anything, but you're not running away from connecting to others. So there is some sort of connection showing up here for you. All right, let's take a look here at your hopes, your fears, your wounds. It almost feels like these two go together, your outcome and your hopes and fears. So I'm going to read them both here kind of together. You have the Judgment here in reverse, and you have the Nine of Wands. I actually feel like the Judgment is more of your outcome based on your hopes and fears. And I'm going to explain why here. Because the Judgment is showing up in reverse, actually in the hopes and fears position, and the Nine of Wands was the outcome, it feels like those beliefs that you are leaning into are going to determine this judgment. All right, this rebirth, this redemption, if you will, because this is a passage. This is the opportunity to bring something back to life that may have been feeling dead or feeling low on energy here. Maybe this is a relationship that, kind of started to go in separate ways. Some of you may be saying, okay, do I want to connect? Or it could even be bringing yourself back to life after feeling like you've gone through something very difficult here with that golden mirror. Maybe you wanted to run away from this because it was toxic or because it was unhealthy. But the Nine of Wands showing up here is about the wounded energies that we have been conditioned over time, our wounds that have ultimately turned into scars. And I see here that you are someone who will persevere. You will overcome the obstacles here. But Spirit is saying here, you're not doing this alone. You have spiritual strength that is helping you lift the burdens. There's this renewed sense of determination. And that's why I'm reading this together, because the renewed sense of determination here to open yourself up to perhaps vulnerability or to open yourself up to extreme self-care, getting connected to you again. It feels like that determination is what is going to bring in this judgment call. Now, the judgment energy is Scorpio's energy, Virgo, of a powerful emotional release. For many of you, there could be tears. There could be a lot of cries. Some of you feel angry. Maybe you are screaming into a pillow or getting in your vehicle and just yelling. Allow those emotions to come out in some way or another. And don't be afraid of how you look. Don't be afraid of, tipping the scales. This is something that you are needing to do, is release these pent up emotions here. And do so in a healthy way. Now, the judgment energy is about not going back. You're not going to go back to that old version of you if you continuously choose yourself first. And I see here with the Nine of Wands, this is you determined here to overcome those obstacles, regardless of what you've gone through. You're not giving up on you. And some of you may not be giving up on a situation here, but you are going to rebuild. And there is a lot of nostalgia. There's a lot of second chance here. There's a lot of, bringing something to life. Now, of course, it could be an energy of healing between you and someone of the past, but for many of you, you are starting fresh and a new beginning, but you've done a lot of healing work on your own nervous system, on your own abilities to fight, flight, or fawn, or to stay and face fears, because there's that message here of you shifting and changing how you perceive, how you view, and how you move forward in relationships. So Judgment Day is coming up. Some of you are going to make a final choice. There's a final choice coming through for you. This is about you letting things go and releasing fear. Some of you may be calling in, or you are very much connected to someone that you've had a past life with, because this can be past life energies. Now, Scorpio energy is coming through here. Even though this is a September reading, Scorpio season rolls in at the end of October. You could see this playing out for you for the next few months, and this final judgment being made here around Scorpio season, even within the next 9 weeks. So let's take a look at the wisdom of the oracle. What do we have here? Now, I do want to say here, some of you may have a choice to default back into an old situation, maybe with a fresh spark, with a fresh beginning, or it does look like there's someone new coming in here with the aces. That could be part of the judgment call. And if this is someone new, as I've mentioned, this could be someone who is very educated. 9 of Pentacles. This is someone whose hard work pays off. Like, this individual is a very hard worker. They have created a life that they love, very self-sufficient, very independent. This person could also be very wealthy, very knowledgeable as well. But the Nine of Pentacles is someone who's not dependent on others. And when it's in reverse, it can be codependency, but I feel like that may be someone from your past. There may have been a codependent loop, or that may have been part of you. But I see that if this is someone new, it feels more like it's in the upright position of this person knows what they want. They go for it. They are a hard worker. They could even work with the elements, such as, working outside. Maybe they do construction. Perhaps they work on automobiles, or they're out doing field work. Even if they work in the office, I feel like they could be outside. Maybe they are very woodsy, or they enjoy being out in nature, because the pentacle realm is very earthy. So let's get a message here from the wisdom of the oracle. What do we have here? We have go the distance. There's the Nine of Wands showing up for you. So when the Nine of Wands shows up, this is about you hitting that finish line. This is beautiful energy. Number 47. Some of you may be 47 years old. Some of you are so close. I mean, the 9 is ultimately the completion. The 9 is about you accomplishing something that has been very difficult, very heavy, that you have endured here. But I see that you deserve to feel this victory. You deserve to feel this win. And there are celebrations coming through here. Now, of course, we're rolling into your season. Happy, happy birthday, Virgo. But I feel like there is a victory here, and you're about to take a victory lap. Now, look at the card that just came out of the Soul's Truth deck. This is your soul. This is what your soul wants you to know. From whom can I release my judgment right now? And you have the Judgment card. Judgment closes our heart to truth and separates us from love. It binds us to our fear and holds us in shame. On whom are you placing judgment right now? Is it someone in your life? Is it yourself? Release the shackles, drop the expectations, and be grateful for what is. Today's soul action. Look at the person that you are judging as if you are looking at a small child. See them learning and growing, falling down and making mistakes, and see their desire to be loved and accepted. Add even more grace to open your heart to this truth. Your mantra, Virgo: when I lift the judgment from myself and others, I uncover my own truth, that I am loved, I am whole, I am limitless, and so are they. Yeah, this is about you rising above. This is part of that releasing of the old story. You're seeing things from a new angle, a new perspective, and that ultimately is going to liberate you. It's going to free you. So you are the one that is making this choice. Okay, lastly, let's get a message from your spirit crystals, your crystal spirits at this time. If you can safely do so, Virgo, please close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in from your solar plexus chakra, your belly area. Nice big inhale and release. And with your eyes still closed, tune into your third eye chakra, the area between your eyebrows and your forehead region. And I want you, Virgo, to imagine the first crystal or gemstone that shows up in your mind's eye. Now, your crystal could show up as a specific shape, size, or color. This could be a crystal that you are familiar with, maybe even know the name of. Your gemstone could be giving off frequencies of unconditional love, strength, compassion, or clarity. And if you need a moment, just pause the video and come back when you are ready. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free monthly reading giveaway, all you need to do, Virgo, is drop your crystals, whether it's the name, the shape, the size, the color, whatever was showing up in your mind's eye, drop it in the comment section below. I will enter you into the free reading giveaway where I draw one winner around the first of the month and post right back here on the community tab. All right, Virgo, your crystal for the month is green aventurine. This is the energy of luck, good fortune, potential, possibility, and new opportunities. Beyond what the eye can see lies a field of infinite possibilities, the field where the 13th century poet Rumi asked his lover to meet him. Green aventurine spirit calls you to recognize that there is no end to the number of people who will come into your life offering loving support and acceptance. So never settle for less than you deserve. The universe is always sending new opportunities for experiencing love, and make sure there are many fish in the sea, along with all manner of creatures, starfish, dolphins. You get the point. Open to possibility, and the love you seek will show up for you. And it's also connected to the heart chakra. Now, the energy of green aventurine is reminiscent of a forest walk. It brings us down out of our heads and into the heart, which is what many of you may benefit from with that old school, the repetition of old stories, old situations playing out over and over in your head. This stone also gently grounds us at the same time. When you meditate with green aventurine, this stone cultivates a feeling of balance and non-attachment. There's that 8 of Cups energy. So non-attaching emotionally, especially matters of the heart, allowing us to easily become calm and heart-centered. So Virgo, green aventurine could be a wonderful stone to work with in the month of September. That is what I have for you, beautiful souls. I know this was a little bit deep. It's a little bit real. It's a little bit raw. But what I love here is not only do you have the ability, you are more than capable of releasing any of these outdated beliefs or conditioning. With that 8 of Cups here, you are walking towards your 9 of Cups. Well, in this case, even the 9 of Pentacles. So you are walking towards something more physical, something that feels more complete, something that feels, stronger, more tangible, and it feels like this is something that you've wanted for quite some time. So that is what I have, Virgo. Thank you so much for being here. If you are interested in a personal reading or signing up for the monthly newsletter, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video.